Hello indie game fans! July 2019 had 657 new releases on Steam, and I'm happy to say that the number of titles that I missed has reduced, so that's a good thing. But I did miss out on some surprise releases, as well as free-to-play games, so here are the indie game new releases that I missed in July 2019. A Short Hike was previously available directly through Humble Bundle, but re-released on Steam with more content in an update known as The Extra Mile, and it's a peaceful exploration game about trying to get to the peak of the mountain. Absolutely love how this looks, which is wonderful. VEmpire, The Kings of Darkness is a vampire-themed deck-building card game along the lines of Dominion, with the ultimate goal of reducing your opponent's empire points to 0. As far as I know, this is not based off any tabletop card game, and the art looks pretty impressive, coupled with decent core mechanics. Dead Hand is a turn-based roguelite that stars autonomous vehicles in underground caverns, and the customization of your weapons platform looks like a very interesting direction for the roguelite tactics genre. Mirador is an online co-op hack-and-slash boss rush game that has a core system that is very Ouroboros in nature, that being the snake that eats its own tail, since you venture out to defeat these giant bosses, earning parts if successful, and you can then use these parts to build your own sentinel and to send it out into the world to fight other players. The Last AntLion is a 2D arena action game where you have to take on the various minions of the Ant Queen. Lovely pixel art. Scribble It is basically Pictionary with a very nice skin on it, with a sleek UI that looks fun for the family. Don't Escape Trilogy is a compilation of 3 point-and-click horror games which are standalone adventures with a creepy but unique setting and format for each game. This compilation is in part for the preservation of these games since they are all available on Flash Games websites, but perhaps those are going away as well. Lunch A Palooza is a party game where you play as various food items and have to use special attacks, power-ups and traps to push other players off the table, and simply looks adorable. The 5 Cores Remastered is a Myst-like first-person puzzle game based on the original 2012 release and looks like a decent one of these. Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Prophecy is a very long game title and is the standalone expansion to Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Martyr and comes to us from Neocore Games, makers of the incredible adventures of Van Helsing. I'm always down for Diablo-style action RPGs, so this expansion adds a new class, continues the story, and introduces the Tyranids as enemies. Elo Hell is a comedic adventure about one player's quest to go from average to professional gamer. The esports dream is something which I guess people are still making fun of, not helped by the name, but this looks like a fascinating take on it. There are 10 chapters with unique, non-repeating minigames, as well as their own competitive game named Echo Star, which is actually playable. Pilot Sports is a time trial racing game that has you piloting various aerial vehicles to complete the objectives on time. With more than 50 courses, 7 challenge types, and 7 flying vehicles, this gives you that sense of freedom of flight. Pumpkin Days is a 3D farming RPG which is of course inspired by Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley. There are 2 towns to choose in which to live, which are connected and you can travel between the two, but variety in the environment will affect what crops you can grow. There's fishing, farming, raising animals and romance options, so I'm curious to see how this develops down the line. Artifact Adventure Gaiden DX is a Game Boy style RPG which checks many of the boxes that I like, including great pixel art, a party of characters that follow in a train on the overworld map, and most interesting is the combat system, which is not your traditional turn-based RPG, but rather has you running into enemies and activating spells and abilities. Super down for this. For more upcoming indie game new releases, check out the previous video or click on the recommended playlist, and I will see you after the jump.